What is good, people? Theyliveglasses here, and welcome back to my channel. Appreciate you stopping by. Today I'm going to share a clip with you which I found the other day, which I think sums up some points really well. So this is Majid Nawaz talking on his radio show on LBC. In this clip he outlines some of the problems with the modern authoritarian identity politics left in terms of their ideas and methods, and how these ideas and methods are in fact not liberal at all. Majid Nawaz is an ex-Islamic extremist who spent time in an Egyptian jail on charges relating to this. He is now a secular Muslim and works with a group called the Quilliam Foundation to counter Islamic extremism and spread awareness about the dangers of political Islam. I'd recommend you check out more of his work and appearances. He talks a whole lot of sense. I will put some links in the description. Some of my favourite clips of him are his appearances on the BBC studio debate show The Big Questions, where he often appears with Douglas Murray, and the pair of them run logical circles around Islamists and their various apologists and just make really great cases for free speech and important stuff like that. I was pretty hyped when I found this clip because I've literally lost friends over some of these same criticisms in the last couple of years, and I've been called all sorts of things, including right wing for wanting the left wing to get its shit together and stop being illiberal and untenable for liberal-minded people, essentially, and apparently I wasn't the only one who thought that, so that's good times. Alright, so let's roll the clip. Over to you, Majid. Tell them what's up, man.
The most vocal elements of the left, and I don't mean every single person who sympathises with left-wing views, let me make that very clear. I'm talking about the organised left, the most vocal elements of our left, and the left in the form of Momentum, who have taken over the Labour Party under Jeremy Corbyn. My view is that that left, today's active organised left, is no longer liberal. What do I mean by that? Well, let's look at a few things that I don't consider to be liberal. Let's look at censorship. Let's look at being post-factual. Let's look at violence being seen as an option. Let's look at prioritising group identity over individual rights. None of these four traits are liberal. Censorship is not liberal. So when today's organised left begins organising in campuses and across colleges across the nation and across the world and says things like, you cannot say that here, this is a safe space, we will exclude you from speaking because your views offend us, when they choose to take offence, when they become more sensitive, and so sensitive in fact that they want to shut debate down simply because they don't like what somebody is saying, that's not a liberal approach. A liberal will always prioritise free speech over offence. What about being post-factual? Well, I remember, and I hope many of you remember, at the beginning of this year, the way in which mass sex attacks were reported in the German city of Cologne, and what was known then as the liberal press actively conspired to cover up that news. Facts were known and they were not reported because they didn't want to be accused of being racist. The German state television station had to come out and openly apologise days later when they realised that this story was not one that they could cover up. So being post-factual is also not being liberal. What about considering violence as an option? When you have the Shadow Chancellor of the UK Labour Party, John McDonnell, being caught on videos saying that it's okay to riot, it's okay to destroy property and to ruin people's lives and their private property, that's not liberal. That may be anarchist, it may be revolutionary hard left socialist, as John McTernan suggested, but it isn't liberal. When people are prioritising group identity over individual rights, saying things like kill all white men, saying things like black people can't be racist because racism is about power and only white men have power. Diane Abbott says that. Well, I'm sorry, Diane Abbott, MP. Go and walk into any council estate and speak to a young white working class lad and try and have a rational, reasonable conversation with that young white working class lad and tell him that he has more power than you and that's why you can't be racist towards him. Complete and utter rubbish. But when group identity is prioritised over individual rights in that way, when leftist activists think it's okay to say kill all white men and that that's somehow an empowering statement, when they think it's okay to be racist to all white people as a group and think somehow that's what it means to be progressive, erasing the individual, stereotyping entire groups, that is not liberal. So I've taken the view that this behaviour, censorship on the organised left, post-factual behavior, violence being seen as an option, and prioritizing group identity over individual rights. That isn't liberal. And like the alt-right has emerged, we've now got this new group. It's called the control left. They want to control our lives, control what we think, control how we behave, control how we even feel, and control what we think. That is not liberal. That is the control left. So my message to you, control left, is stop telling us you're liberal. My message to the press, stop describing them as the liberal left. They are no longer liberal. Call them for what they are, the control left.